Hi guys, do you remember who I am? Do I look familiar to you? I went out of town for 10 days and it was a super busy vacation. I wasn't able to be on the internet at all. So when I got home, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get back to YouTube. I've been gone for so long. And then 2 days after I got home, I ended up in the hospital for 8 days. So I wasn't able to make videos then either. And then when I got home from the hospital, I was still feeling cruddy and not wanting to get in front of the camera, but now I am. But don't worry, I'm cool now. I just have 2 separate chronic health conditions. So sometimes I am like totally fine and great. Most of the time I am, but then sometimes I just become a hot mess. If I haven't commented on your videos, it is nothing personal. I haven't been commenting on anyone's videos. I've just been completely away, but I'm back now and I'm excited to be back, and I hope you guys accept me back into the community after being gone for so long. So today I am doing a monthly recommendations video. Monthly Recommendations is a Goodreads group that was started by Trina from Between Chapters and Kayla Rain, and this month is survival stories, which I'm very excited about. So I have 5 books to show you guys today. 2 are fiction and 3 of them are non-fiction, so I'll start with the fiction one. So when I heard that the topic for this month was survival stories, the very first story I thought of was The Martian by Andy Weir. Now, is this book incredibly well written and well crafted? Absolutely. Is this book my personal favorite book ever? No. I didn't love this book. I think it's an incredible book, but it's just personally not really my thing. However, I still felt the need to recommend it because this is the very first book I thought of when I thought of survival stories, and so many people love it. So how could I not recommend it when I know that this touched so many people and resonated with so many people? I still liked it, so don't get me wrong. I still enjoyed it. It's just not really like my thing. So I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with the story. This is about an astronaut named Mark who is stranded on Mars completely alone and has to survive. This story is really gripping and heartfelt while still adding the comedy and humor. You know, some survival stories are so serious, but this one has some humor to it, which I really did appreciate. That was probably my favorite thing about the book, was how the character of Mark was so snarky. So I truly do recommend this for anyone who likes survival stories and wants to get into that genre. Okay, the next book I'm going to recommend is The Host by Stephanie Meyer. So now that I'm making this video, I'm realizing that these first 2 books were actually on Trina's recommendation video. So sorry Trina, I'm not trying to copy you. I actually thought of these 2 books before I watched Trina's video, and my next 3 books are not in Trina's video. But speaking of Trina's video, I'm gonna have her and Kayla Rain's down below, their channel, so go check it out because she recommended these books as well. But anyway, a lot of people might be turned off from The Host because they might be turned off by Twilight. I really don't think you should be. I think you should separate the 2 completely. I think if you like Twilight, you should check this out, and I think if you despise Twilight, you should still check this out. It's a really good book, guys. I really like it a lot. It's about this weird alien type species like taking over humans' bodies and using our bodies as host bodies. And our main character is Melanie, and she's very strong and she does not want her body to be taken over. This story is just full of adventure, it's full of family love, it's full of romantic love, it's full of mystery, it's just exciting and I really enjoy it. It's huge, but don't let that overwhelm you. It's a really quick read and I love it. Okay, now for the non-fiction section of my survival stories. This next one is another one that I instantly thought of when I heard the words survival story. I instantly thought of this book, and that is A Stolen Life by J.C. Dugard. For those of you who are not familiar, J.C. Dugard is a real person who was kidnapped and lived in a man's backyard for 18 years. He actually also had a wife, so I should say a man and woman's backyard. She mothered his 2 children. Yeah, that's not really a spoiler because this was all over the news. Anyway, she was found, which is also not a spoiler because this is all over the news. And also, she probably wouldn't have been able to write this book if she wasn't. But anyway, she was rescued and her 2 daughters were rescued as well. And then she wrote this book. This book is just about her experience living in this situation. It's like the real life equivalent of the book Room by Emma Donoghue. This book was incredible. I couldn't put it down. I read it in one sitting, which is not common for me. I normally don't do that, but it was just amazing. However, this book is very graphic and pretty much horrendous. So if you can't handle that, I wouldn't read it, but I think it's worth reading. It does have a message of hope. but it's rough. But JC is an amazing person that survived so much, so I just had to put this on the list. The next book is one of my favorite books of all time, and that is The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom. This is a Holocaust book, as I'm sure a lot of you have probably read at least one of those. They are depressing. They're absolutely horrible and depressing because this was a horrible and depressing moment in history. However, Corrie is such an amazing woman, and this book does have a glimmer of hope in it. To me, this book is not just depressing, this book is about hope, and it gives me hope. This book is kind of a faith-based Christian book because Corrie is one, and that's just what she relies on through this journey of hers, but I think you can still enjoy it no matter what you believe. It's just such a great survival story. And my last book is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. This book is not a survival story in the traditional sense. You know, it's not about someone in the forest like surviving off of eating berries, you know, it's not like that kind of survival story, but I decided to add it to the list because Maya went through a lot of trauma in her early childhood, and it kind of is an overcoming story, you know? She grows up, she finds her voice, and she becomes an incredible person even though her past was really terrible. And I think that that is just as good of a survival story as any other survival story. So I hope you guys check out some of these books and enjoy them as much as I did. I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to watch all of your videos again, finally. Bye everyone.